Why yes, I do have a cardboard stand-up of the Falcon. Welcome to 5 points of articulation, and happy Independence Day to my fellow Americans. This was a gift from my good friend Luke. He fished it out of the dumpster of a comic book store that was going out of business. I figured it was a nice opportunity to bring it out. Why? Because I'm celebrating the 4th of July with the all-new Target exclusive Marvel Legends Sam Wilson Captain America. Also, please pardon the mess. Starting with the packaging, and Sam flies in one of those extra-wide Deluxe style Marvel Legends window boxes. Captain America down here. The extra depth of the box allows for a nice wide profile shot of Sam looking very stoic. Up top we get a graphic of Sam's shield. Alas, my box was damaged in shipping, but for those of you looking in store, here's the UPC. And then on the back we get a nice wide angle full body shot. One thing that's cool is that both this image and also this one come from two different covers of Captain America Symbol of Truth #1. Sam Wilson takes the mantle of Captain America to new heights, combining the iconic shield with his signature wings versus threats near and abroad. Abroad? What broad? I love the artwork that they used, and in spite of mine being damaged, this is a very solid box all around. For packaging, I'm giving this Captain America 5 points. Moving on to presentation, and Sam stands at 6 1/8 inches, or 15.5 centimeters. Centimeters? On the 4th of July? This A doesn't stand for metric! Although he's always going to stand tall for liberty, this Captain America skews shorter because he's actually from 2016. Originally, this figure was part of a Toys R Us exclusive 3-pack with the Vision and Kate Bishop. I never had the original, but from what I can see based on online pictures, it doesn't look like Hasbro updated the sculpting in any way. That's alright though, because this is a really good sculpt. All the different panels and seam lines have been sculpted on. We see more of those in the pants. Even more panels and straps for the gloves, and also the boots. We also get some nice fabric tugs, and all sorts of little wrinkles and dings on the pouch belt. For the most part, you could stand this up against any modern Marvel Legend. The only things holding it back are that they didn't update any of the joints. While it doesn't bother me, I do know a lot of collectors do get frustrated by that. One thing I am impressed by is the paint job. All those seams and panels are very crisp, and at first glance I actually thought that there was shading in the red. Additionally, I like the metal finish that they gave the straps for the backpack, and we can see that again in the goggles. It was a good figure in 2016, and it's still a good figure today. Obviously, Sam would have benefited from updated pinless joints, but I'm still pretty happy overall. For presentation, I'm giving Captain America 5 points. Moving on to posability, and this figure might be from 2016, but the articulation is still really good. From the top, and Sam's head's on a ball joint and a disc swivel. He can look up this high, which is great for a flying character, and he can bury the chin all the way down. No tilt, but a little bit of wobble, but he can turn his head all the way around. Is he a falcon or an owl? Moving down, and this Captain America can raise his arms just under 90 degrees. No butterfly joint or anything like that, but his arm can rotate a perfect 360. Additionally, he has bicep swivel and double jointed elbows with admittedly not the best bend. That said, and at the ends of the arms he has wrists that can swivel and hinge up or down. Moving to the middle, and Sam has an ab crunch and a waist swivel. He's got a really good arch back, which again for a flying character is exactly what I want to see. But despite having the ab crunch, he can't really hunch forward all that far. That's because this little dip in the front getting in the way. Naturally, he doesn't have any tilt, but thanks to the waist cut, he does get twist. Below that big bulky pouch belt, and Captain America has ball jointed hips. He kicks a bit under 90 degrees, but not bad, but can only split about 40. Moving down the leg though, and Sam has thigh cut, double jointed knee with a very respectable bend, boot cut rotation, and Marvel Legends style ankles that can hinge, and like Sam Wilson from Falcon to Captain America, pivot. Just keep in mind that all of his hinging is backwards and not forwards. The joints are there, but admittedly the range could be a bit better. For posability, I'm giving Sam 4 points. Moving on to playability, and oh boy howdy do I wish I had better news for you. First things first though, and let me start with the good. Sam comes preloaded with a fist and an accessory holding hand, but has an alternate right accessory holding hand and an alternate left open hand designed for throwing his shield. That shield is just a simple plain disc with the logo painted on, but it has been updated to look like his shield from the comic, whereas the original 3-pack version merely had Steve's shield. That said, referring back to the box art and the sense of three-dimensionality it has, I do kind of wish that they actually sculpted the shield, but this is par for the course for Hasbro, and honestly, it's fine. More than anything, I'm just happy that Sam got a comics-accurate shield of his own. As always, it clips onto his wrist, or of course you could peg it into his back, but this is where the wings go, and where this section goes sideways. So first we have this backpack piece. It's been painted nicely and has lots of sculpted detail, even on the inside where no one's going to see it. Part of the wings are back there, and they're on these hinges with detents. As for the wings themselves, they've been sculpted very nicely. A lot of care and attention has been paid to the individual panels. I do like how the light captures all those individual lines. Some extra paint detail would have done a nice job of bringing all that detail out, and there's also a nice sense of curvature to them. The problem is connecting the two. You can see these little bars here, and on this end there are little clips, but as you can see, those clips are very shallow, and as such, I cannot get these wings to stay on or clip into place. The slightest movement, and they fall right off. Having waited years for a Sam Wilson Captain America with wings, and this is so incredibly frustrating. For any kind of figure photography, you have to pose him first and then click the wings into place, and even then there's no guarantee they aren't going to keep falling off while you're doing it. For as much as I really do like this figure, the wings were the one upgrade I wanted, and Hasbro really dropped the ball here. It's so bad that I'm thinking about foregoing the articulation and just super gluing them in place. I don't have the wings to the Disney Plus version. If you do, they are compatible with this figure, so you could technically use those wings if you have them, but if you have to resort to that, what's the point of having the new one at all? But playability is more than just broken wings and plastic shields. It's also about how well your figure plays with others. For the only other Sam Wilson Captain America in my collection, and here's the Disney Plus version from the 2-pack, side by side you can see what a great job they did translating this costume into live action. Otherwise, and for another Sam Wilson in general, and here we have the retro card version of Falcon, but for a couple of other men who have taken on the Captain America mantle, and here we have John Walker, the US agent, and former Winter Soldier Bucky Barnes. As for Steve Rogers, and here we have the Marvel Now Captain America, the Capwolf version of Steve, the highly sought after 80 years version, the classic style 20th anniversary edition, an Ultimate Cap who I have a terrible feeling would not be quite as supportive of Sam becoming Captain America as our Steve is. Hey, I'll have you know I'm offended! Anyone can be Captain America, long as it ain't a dame! As for Iron Man, I don't have the black and gold Marvel Now armor, but I do have Extremis, and of course Superior Iron Man, which came out of the Axis arc. For a few other heroes who got the spotlight during the all-new, all-different Marvel era, and here we have Jane Foster Thor, the Black Panther, Miles Morales Spider-Man, this is the Space Venom version, Spider-Gwen, and Miss Marvel Kamala Khan. Strictly speaking, this is the Disney Plus version, but it doesn't exactly look like a Mon Vellani, so I use it as the regular one. For a few Avengers villains, and here we have Ultron, the Walgreens version of Baron Zemo, Kang the Conqueror, and the Zem New Wave Red Skull, the Disney Plus What If Wave Red Skull, and Red Skull as the Red Onslaught. For a roll-to-scale comparison, and here's Sam with Pizza Spidey and the Spectacular Spider-Man, and as always, here he is with Stealth Iron Man. As much as I was looking forward to this figure, the wings absolutely killed it for me. I cannot possibly overstate how frustrating and faulty they are. The updated shield and extra hands are appreciated. Even so, for playability, I'm giving this Captain America 3 points. This leaves us with nothing left to discuss but the price. With most Captain America figures being Walmart exclusives, I'm happy to report that this one is exclusive to Target and, as of this recording, still available. He retails for $34.99. By contrast, you can get the original Wingsless Toys R Us version loose for between $15 to $30. This one does have the superior paint job, but it's hindered by the wings constantly falling apart. Honestly, I'm giving serious thought to getting the Disney Plus versions and painting them red. Given that it's only the wings that make this figure deluxe, and for price, I'm giving Sam 3 points, averaging out to a perfect for Independence Day total of 4 out of 5. So, about that dame comment, if you like this video, check out one of these. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again real soon, but until then, play nice and have fun.